have a tale about two nicknames given to me by bikers. First one, I hated, but it changed its meaning over the years. Second one, I loved, but I got through painful circumstances. My story begins with me, a fat, cocky kid on the corner of 2nd and Market eating a honey bun after school from St. John's Elementary. When up come the street, come bikers riding up the street, and one of them gives me the finger. Well, I return the gesture and utter something that a 5th grader shouldn't be. I laughed. My friend laughed. The biker came back. Now I'm there eating with my intimidating, underfitting Catholic schoolboy uniform. And I approach the biker, necktie straining, and I come out and I say, "What are you gonna win?" I was hit in the face for the first time. I got up off the ground, honey bun still in hand. And I knew at that point, I wanted to be a biker. Now let me explain something. There's a difference between 99% of the bikers that are part of motorcycle clubs or known as MCs and 1%ers, or also known as outlaw bikers. The difference, crime. Semi-organized crime run by semi-organized criminals. Crime nonetheless. It's the mid-'80s, I'm 19, and I become associated with outlaw bikers. My roommate and I were basement farmers. We were, shall we say, providers of a community resource that was quite valuable. Because of this, we came on the radar of an outlaw MC. My roommate, never seeing a vampire movie in his life, said, "Come on in." We were immediately told that the MC would be our only client. We were also told that they would set the price, so that was great. I was all of a sudden in a B-movie version of Goodfellas. At around our third harvest, a group of the club officers came by to take their cut. And we were smoking in the living room, and I noticed an intentional puff-puff-pass situation going on involving me. Well, this could not stand. Etiquette, people. And I was an angry kid at the time, still fat and cocky. I had a mullet, starter beard, acne, intimidating as hell, And I started to go off. I'm like, "Give me the damn joint. You won't disrespect me in my effing house." And of course, a detailed rant that covered every single grievance that I have had with them since our association. So I directed this at the group, but the senior club officer stood. Now, to say he was a monster of a man is an understatement, okay? So picture the Mountain from Game of Thrones with leather armor combined with Carl from Sling Blade with a meth problem. He addresses me. He's backing me out my front door. I'm saying words that sound a lot like pleading. No longer feeling intimidating at all, I reach the end of my porch. I was told I did a Popeye fall off the front porch, which in the comics is quite funny. I recall coming to with him over top of me. I reckon you didn't die. I reckon I ain't got no reason to kill nobody. He instructs his other officers, go over there and pick up that young man. I was tortured, beaten, and bullied for another year while they used that name, young man. Now, if I hadn't alluded to it, young man had a lot of problems living life, definitely on the wrong side of the law. It's nothing I'm proud of. It's nothing I aggrandize. Matter of fact, I'm ashamed of it. You see, at 21, I was broken. Circumstances involving the disappearance of a crop caused me to flee from my life. That flight led me to a place that was anonymous, sober, way more productive, gave me a chance to grow, gave me a chance to become a man. 2 years later into that life, my past walked through the door. He approached me and without hesitation gave me a hug and looked me straight in the eye and said, "Good to see you here, young man." I bought my first Harley off of him, 1978 busted shovel head that leaked everywhere and didn't run. I was in love. See, that's why I really wanted to be a biker. It was a machine, really. It was a machine. Also, it was a cool leather jacket and stuff, too. I was sponsored. I was prospected for an MC. Now, prospecting for ex-outlaw motorcycle club guys was fun. It did teach me everything I needed to know, though, everything I needed to know about my bike, everything I needed to know about the biker way and its rules, which is kind of funny because for a group born out of anarchy, they sure as shit had a lot of rules. I received my patches on my cut, which is a vest that you wear over your leather jacket in the proper order. The first patch was a top patch, also known as a rocker. It had the club's name. My bottom patch had the word independent on it. This was there for a reason. This set us apart from the 1%ers. We were independent. The day I earned my final center patch, which is our club's logo, was one of the proudest days of my life. It was something I achieved, something that wasn't given to me, something I earned. It gave me fellowship and brotherhood that I never knew existed, and I was home for years. 2 years later, family circumstances are causing me to move to Key West, Florida. Not a bad deal. So I'm changing my MC designation to a nomad because there is no chapter down in Key West, Florida. So while I'm down in the Keys, I meet a wonderful biker who happens to be an old man. He and I get along great. He watches my back. We do a lot of riding. We become great friends. He and his wife, they give me my second nickname. Now, my second nickname hit me in the face, literally. You sense a pattern here? Yeah. It was 1991. The 50th anniversary of Bike Week was coming around, and, Bike Week was coming around. I was working at a crappy Army-Navy store on the island called Stock Island, which if you've ever been down to the Florida Keys is the shithole little island you enter before you enter into Key West. And I don't know if it's still there, but it had an ugly-ass gorilla on the roof. I ran that sucker. So I tell my boss, I say, hey, 50th anniversary of Bike Week's around, I'll be back. He's like, you can't go. So I packed everything I owned up and joined my friend's pack heading north on Route 1. Now, they have these things in Florida called alligators. They also have these things in Florida called road gators. I call them tire caps. Now, a lot of people will tell you that accidents happen in slow motion. No. In a split second, the car in front of me kicks up one of these road gators, and it smacks me right around the face. Bike screeching to a halt, slowing down, I fall off on the shoulder. The bike has minor damage, it goes on the trailer. Now my face, different story. I do instinctively what I always do when fast-moving objects are coming directly at my head. I duck. That helped me immensely. What happened was the road cap wrapped around and basically made my face a big purple grape. The paramedics were helpful. They gave me an ice pack and put some tussin on it, and that was awesome. In a crappy Daytona hotel room, concussed, I was given my other nickname, Gator. The old man said, "Hell, son, you earned that." I called my international MC headquarters, talked to the founder, told him the story, and Gator is now my name. Patch was being sent to Dallas, Texas, where I was to stay because of family again. As Gator in Dallas, I joined a local chapter of my MC. While I was in that chapter, I rose through the ranks. I became a road captain. I became the sergeant at arms. I became the vice president, and ultimately I became the president. We were a waypoint for bikers that needed to be clean. It was the main charter of our club. If you're strung out, messed up, whatever, we got no judgments. We're here to help you out. Did it work all the time? No. Did it work all the time for us? Yeah. You know, that was our life. You know, that's what made us the people we all wanted to be, the bikers we all wanted to be. Outlaw drama in Texas brewed. Give up, no shit. An edict was passed down. There would be no three-patch cuts. There would be no women wearing cuts. There would be no women that would be parts of clubs. There would be no women riding with clubs. There was no choice but for us to disband our chapter, independent or no. We would no longer be recognized as that. The day I sent my club's colors back to International was one of the saddest days of my life. It was like my family was gone. Through time, we grew apart. We tried to stay together, but we grew apart. Shortly thereafter, I sold my 2 motorcycles to invest in a career for a new thing coming out called computer networking. And I became an engineer. And, that's worked out pretty good. So for the last 25 years, I just go by the name Sean. Thank you, everyone.